Good peoples. How y'all feeling tonight? Welcome to another CEO Sunday. Hope you all feeling well, man. Start of a new week and be excited about it. Your expectation is a real powerful thing. Don't know how last week was, but hey, today starts a new week. So have some high expectations for this week. Go into it with high energy and man, expect things to work out in your favor. So super excited to be with you tonight. Again, my name is Gerard Anderson, the J is a, and as I stated, this is another CEO Sunday. And my mission with this channel is to simply to empower and support 9 to 5ers who desire to break free from the limitations of the traditional 9 to 5 full-time employee work experience. Let me say that again. My purpose is to simply help those of you, those 9 to 5ers, those of you who desire to break free from the limitations of the traditional 9 to 5 full-time employee work experience. And primarily those experiences are around the areas of work, time, and money. And so tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about a new book that I just wrote, and it's free. Definitely want you to go download your free copy, but it's called Breaking Free of the Unfulfillment Trap. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And man, I'm really excited about a program that I'm going to be launching probably in the next week. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Not going to be on here too long tonight, maybe just 15, 20 minutes or so. But I still want to take my time and give you what I got. So as always, I like to start with our confessions because words are so powerful. Words are probably one of the most powerful things in our life. So I always like to just set the atmosphere by sending our words forth, okay? So you can just repeat this after me or just listen. I'm living the lifestyle I desire. So regardless of where you are now, you want to begin to speak and verbalize what you want to see. In essence, you're bridging the gap from where you are now to where you want to be. So I am living the lifestyle I desire. That's the first one. Number two, I live life on my own terms. A lot of times frustration and unfulfillment comes, and this is in my book. So like I said, I want you to go and download it. But a lot of times frustration and unfulfillment comes because we don't have control. So just imagine, just as an example, driving a car when you lose control of it. Man, that's a frightening experience, even if it's just for a split second. So imagine what it's like to feel like you're not even in control of your life. And most people are living like that. So, and we got to get control back, but we need to really dig down deep and find out how we lost control. And number two, how to get it back. And I cover all of that in the book. So the link is in the bio. But like I said, I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Number three, I'm breaking free of all the limiting thoughts, beliefs, and programming in my mind. That's so big. I am breaking free of all the limiting thoughts, beliefs, and programmings in my mind. So as you think, so you are, so you be. Your life is the sum total of your beliefs. And your beliefs pretty much dictate the boundaries of your life. So you can't go any higher, you can't reach any further than your current belief system. Problem is, most of our belief systems have been programmed. And so we want more, but our belief systems won't let us go and get more or achieve more because it's been programmed for limitation. But I am here to help you break through of those limitations. All right, let's keep on going. Um, Number four, I don't limit my lifestyle to my salary. Rather, I consistently expand my means and my streams to support my desired lifestyle. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight. My subject that I really want to discuss tonight is why are you still waiting for payday? It's going to be powerful. I'm going to get into it a little bit more in a minute, but think about that. Why are you waiting for payday? All right, let's go on. Number five, I haven't enjoyed life in abundance to the full until it overflows. Don't care what it looks like. You start confessing, I haven't enjoyed life in abundance to the full till it overflows. And those words, as you begin to speak it and get that down in your heart, it'll start to shift some things in your life. Keep on doing it. Just trust me, follow the process. And if you're consistent with it, I guarantee you, you're going to see some changes. Number six, my faith and my belief dictates what I can do, be, and have in life. That's so powerful. My faith and my belief dictates what I can be, do, have in life. You see, we think our work, our money, our position, our title, our status, we think those things determine what we can have in life. But you know what? Those things are determined by your belief. Going back to belief, by your faith. What do you believe? What do you operate in fear or faith more? So all of those things are working behind the scenes, running the main motion picture of your life. So just remember, my faith and my belief dictates what I can do, be, and have in life. So if your beliefs aren't what you need them to be, then guess what? We got to change your belief. And I'm going to tell you how we can do that just a little bit later on. Number seven, the word I now decree goes forth and establishes for me the future I desire to see. So powerful. The words I now decree goes forth and establishes the future I desire to see. So if you don't know anything else, start with the words that are coming out of your mouth. That's step number one. That's first base. If you can't do anything, I want you to write your own confessions. Now I do go through these so you can say them with me, but the ones that you write that's tailor-made for your life is going to mean a whole lot more. So last week I talked about the 7 steps to transitioning from the traditional 9 to 5 work experience. Listen, if you didn't catch that, you got to go back and watch it. I recorded it last week, but I'm going to just briefly give you a recap of the 7 steps. I'm not going to go into details, but just to kind of give you a little snippet of what I talked about. Number one, you got to be honest about your frustrations with where you currently are today. Number two, become aware of the programming. We're going to spend a whole lot of time talking about that programming. Number three, you have to begin questioning your current belief systems. And I think I may have changed the wording on this a little bit, but it still gets to the same gist. But your current belief system may not be serving your current lifestyle. It may not be serving the current you. So what you believe, what you have believed in the past has brought you to where you are right now. So if you find yourself in a place of discontent and frustration and unfulfillment with where you are, guess what? It's because of your current belief system. So for you to go from where you are to where you want to be, guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to change and adjust that belief system. But Gerard, how in the world do I do that? I got you. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. All right. And then next step was change your thinking about work, time, and money. This is probably the biggest part of how we've been programmed. We've been conditioned to think a certain way about work, time, and money. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight with why are you still waiting for payday? Because that's what you've been conditioned to do. That's the quick answer. Number five, get clear on what it is that you really want. A lot of times it's hard to really get what we want because we don't know what we want. So you need to just take some time, get quiet, and consider what you really want. Number six, tap into your potentials, your skills, your gifts, and your talents. That's where your freedom is. It's in what you're able to produce from within, not what's controlled by the outside things, but what you can produce from within. And that comes from your potential, skills, gifts, and talents. And number seven, and I think number seven, I forgot to write it down, but I think it talked about establishing multiple streams for multiple dreams. Don't put your eggs in one basket. I had to learn that lesson the tough way because what happens if somebody steals your basket, or what happens if you lose your basket? Then you stuck because all of your eggs in that one basket. So don't ever put all of your eggs in one basket. Okay. So here's what I want to talk to you briefly about tonight is why are you still waiting for payday when you can create your own payday? And a lot of this, like I said, is coming from a book that I just wrote. And the book is called Breaking Free of the Unfulfillment Trap. So I'm going to be sharing with you from that book over the next couple of weeks. But a lot of people, a lot of 9 to 5ers are in the place of just feeling unfulfilled. You're dissatisfied, discontented with where life is right now. You're a little bit frustrated that you're not making the money that you desire to make. You just don't feel like you're fulfilling your purpose. You're not passionate about what you're doing. And there's a reason for that. There's a root cause to all of that. But here again, a lot of it goes back to how we have been programmed to think. But I think, like I said, a root issue of unfulfillment in the life of many 9 to 5ers is simply this: you do not have control over the things that are impacting your life the most. Biggest thing I would say is your time and your money. So my question that I would challenge you with is, think about it. Think about it. Why are you still waiting for payday? Okay. Why do you wait for payday? And this was a big shift that I had to make in my thinking because my first job, number one, didn't pay me what I wanted. As a matter of fact, it paid me half of what I thought I would make. That was the first issue. Number two, um, I got paid every 2 weeks, which wasn't bad. I was okay with that. But then I went from a job that paid every 2 weeks to a job that paid once a month. I don't know how many of you all, if you ever worked a job that paid once a month, but man, trying to get a paycheck to stretch for 30 days, that's more than the notion, man. And I literally had to try to figure out, pay all your bills up front, and that slash about 75% of what you had coming in. And you're figuring out, by the time you pay your bills and do all the other things at the beginning of the month, you're trying to live off of maybe 10 to 25% of your money. And then, if you're paying tithes, hopefully you're paying tithes now. That's another, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Just depending on what you believe. But trying to stretch the rest of that money out for 30 days. And guess what? By the time the 10th of the month hit, you already waiting for the next payday. But it's crazy. That's what we have been conditioned to do. And I haven't run across anyone yet that's like, man, I love getting paid once a month. I mean, you always hear these saying like more month than money. I know Pac said trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. It's like, how do you try to stretch this thing? But look at what that does. It conditions you to wait for payday. So why are you still waiting for payday? Simple. That's what you've been conditioned to do, but that's not what you want. And that's what I'm really trying to get at. That's a part of your belief system that has been programmed into you, but it's not really serving you because that's not what you want to do. So you got to uproot those old thoughts and those old belief systems that have you, and I'm just using this as an example, waiting for payday. Why? Why are you doing that? So you need to shift your belief system. Like, okay, do I still believe in this? Well, what else am I going to do? And see, that's a part of it too. You don't think that anything else is possible. But until you disrupt that current way of thinking, you'll never see the possibilities of what else may be possible. So I want you to challenge that belief system. If you're still waiting and that's not what you want to do, how long are you going to continue to wait for the next payday? And I don't care if it's next week or if it's in the next 2 weeks or if it's in the next month. How long are you going to put up with that? But Gerard, what am I supposed to do? I only get paid once a month. Well, we'll get on that a little bit later, but right now I just need you to challenge the belief. That's all we're talking about. I'm not telling you to quit your job, get another job, nothing. Only thing I want you to do right now is just challenge the belief. I don't believe in doing this anymore. And once you get to the place that you don't believe in a certain thing anymore, guess what? You start to withdraw energy from it. So we put so much energy into how we currently live that we don't even question it. We just kind of go with it. And the energy to continue to support those things continuing to happen, it just continues to perpetuate. So that's your assignment. I want you to challenge that belief. Why am I still waiting for payday? Number one. Number two, am I going to do anything about it? And I didn't even say what, but it's like once you make a quality decision, are we going to do something a little bit different? You'll be surprised how things begin to start moving in the direction of your dominant thoughts. But if those thoughts don't exist, or if the thought is just to go along with how things are, why do you need a different thought to show you how to do something differently? You don't. That's why you stay exactly where you are. So I'm gonna challenge you, don't wait. Stop waiting. What are you gonna do? You don't know yet, but you made a quality decision. I'm not gonna just sit here and wait for payday. I know there's a story for my Bible people. There's a story in the Bible. I don't know if you all remember the story of Samaria, but there was a famine in the land. And so there were these four lepers, and they got kicked out of the camp because they had leprosy. So, back during those times, people didn't fool with you. If you had leprosy, you was an outcast. So they got kicked out of the camp. But the famine was so severe, like parents, mothers was cooking their own children for food. It was just that bad. And so the four lepers, though they were in a interesting predicament. On the one side in their camp was the famine. On the other side, it was the enemy, the camp of the enemy. So, they couldn't go to their camp, and on this side, they had the camp of the enemy. And the thought was, well, if we go into the enemy's camp, we might get killed. So they had this thought that came to them. You know what? If we sit here, we're going to starve. Can't go back to our camp. If we go to the enemy's camp, maybe we may get killed. But why are we going to sit here and just die? That's so powerful. Why? I mean, you don't know what's going to happen if you move forward in a certain direction. You already know what's in the direction of where you came from. So they came to the realization, yeah, it doesn't look good moving forward because who knows what could happen. And we know the famine is back in our camp, but why in the world are we gonna sit here and just die? So they said, like, yo, let's just go to the camp of the enemy and see what's up. What's the worst that can happen? Either we starve here or we go in there and we get slaughtered there. So they went to the camp of the enemy, and lo and behold, God had worked it out, took out the whole camp of the enemy, the opposing army. God set that thing up where they heard what they thought was the sound of an army coming to attack them. They abandoned the camp, left everything there, left the clothes, the jewelry, the money, everything was intact. And those four lepers went there, and it was just like, yo, is this for real? Look at all of this stuff here. I mean, it's just abundance just laying everywhere, and we didn't do anything to deserve it. And so they started to get happy, and it was just like, you know what, we better go and tell our folks before something worse comes on us. So I said that to say this: they didn't know what they were going to encounter moving ahead, but they made a quality decision. We ain't going to sit here and die. To guarantee you that much. I mean, we may encounter some misfortune moving forward, but we're not going to sit here. So that's my word to you tonight. Don't sit where you are. You don't even know, may not know exactly what to do. You don't know what could be ahead in a different direction, but don't just sit there where you are. Get up, and you got to do something, but it starts with making a decision. So make a decision. I'm not going to sit here and just wait for my next payday. Just to give you a clue, what I did in this situation, because I found myself in a similar situation, I started thinking, I was like, okay, now what can I do to change the circumstances of just sitting and waiting to get paid? So it goes back to one thing I talked about last week. You got to learn how to tap into your potential, skills, gifts, and talents. In other words, part of the programming has gotten you to believe that you can't bring forth, you can't produce from within. We've been so conditioned to waiting for someone to tell us what to do, how to do it, and then pay us to do it, which is good. I mean, we got to start somewhere, but that causes you to give up all control. And so you got to get to a place where you learn how to produce again from yourself using your own potential, your own skills, your own gifts, and your talents. So I talk about all of this in my book. Y'all go and definitely download it. Is that the site is no more unfulfillment.com. And I just talk about breaking out of this place of unfulfillment, specifically where your work, time, and money is concerned. Not having They say you have more month than money. That's an unfulfilling place. You got to break free from that. You can't stay there because it's not going to change if you don't change, but you waiting for it to change, but it's waiting for you to change. So you kind of get stuck in this back and forth. Well, I'm waiting for something to happen. Something's waiting for you to happen. And so it's on you. You got to do it. You got to do it. So it's all a mind shift. It starts with your mindset, it starts with your words, and that's what I'm here to help you do. Um, so that, like I said, I wasn't going to be as long tonight because I just wanted to really pound that home. But let that resonate. Why am I still waiting for payday when I can produce my own payday? And sit and just be quiet with that thought and just, you know, God will speak something to you. Like, oh wait, they finally ready to make a move and do something different. All right, let's drop a thought in there. Let's see if they move on it. So that's what you got to do. You just got to sit and just like, okay, I don't know necessarily how I'm going to get from where I am to where I want to be, but I know there's a way for it to happen. And you just sit there long enough until it happens. So I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna tell you about something exciting I have coming up, and then we're gonna close. Most people are secretly living frustrated, unfulfilled lives, primarily characterized by a lack of resources, specifically financial, to take care of the necessities of life, and even more so to enjoy life in abundance till the full, till it overflows. Let me read that again. Most people are secretly living frustrated, unfulfilled lives, primarily characterized by a lack of resources, specifically financial resources needed to take care of the necessities of life, and even more so to enjoy life in abundance to the full till it overflows. So we've been stuck on this need stuff for so long, we don't even think about what is it like to just have and enjoy life in abundance to the full till it overflows. It's like I'm just trying to get my daily needs met. So that's another part of the program where you have to really shift your thinking. It's like, no, I'm supposed to be having and enjoying life in abundance. What does that mean? I got more than enough for everything. And abundance is really to put you in a position where you can start to be a blessing to other people. It's so hard to get there because we're just so stuck on trying to get our own basic needs met. And I get it, you have to do that. But my gosh, at some point, we got to break free so we can be a blessing to somebody else. I heard somebody said, get to the place where you can be the pitcher pouring into somebody else instead of just the one with the cup looking for the handout. That's where we got to get at. Um, so that's where we at, and that's where we got to go at. So here's what I am working on now. So I'm doing these videos every week because I really want to help people break free out of this place of unfulfillment. But it's a slow process just because we got to dig down and uproot the current belief systems that have had you stuck. And there's a lot more that I probably couldn't say, that I probably wouldn't say just in these type of videos. Just those behind the closed door things where you can just get real and raw and transparent and just really dig down. So I am starting what I call the Be Your Own CEO Academy. And probably going to start next week. I'm just putting some of the finishing touches on it. But those are my personal sessions with you, those who decide to join. And we can really start uprooting some trees in your life that have been producing fruit that you don't want to produce. So, um, so these videos is just to really kind of get you aware of what some of the challenges are that you may be facing and why. How to get out of those, I have to transition my conversation and my teaching to a whole different level. And so I've learned that you value what you invest in. So anyway, that's going to start next week is the Be Your Own CEO Academy. I have a website with all of the information. Um, Try to make it really affordable. That initial, it's a one-time annual fee, and then I think it's $197 annual fee, and then $29 a month. So real affordable. But part of breaking free is you gotta be willing to invest for where you want to go. Part of what keeps a lot of people trapped for so long is just that you just get so used to looking for something to happen, or you just looking for a handout, and it's just like you got to see yourself in a bigger way so you can invest in a bigger way so you can reap a bigger type of harvest. And so it's all spiritual law. I'm going to talk a lot about spiritual law, but two of the biggest is the power of your words, and then seed time and harvest. But you got to be willing to sow on a level that you're willing to reap on. So we're going to talk about all of that. I'm super excited. Like I said, I'm putting the finishing touches on it. So just go ahead and get your mind around it. Go ahead and get in. If any of what I've been saying has been resonating with you, you need to be in there, because I'm just hitting the tip of the iceberg now. And we're going to run for a whole year. That's how much stuff I got to share in terms of uprooting that current belief system and putting some new trees in you. But I guarantee you this, you'll be very pleased on where you end up if you come in there, really hear what I'm trying to show you, and put in the work and take action. I guarantee you, you will be extremely satisfied on where you end up on the other side. But it's on you. You got to make the first investment. So I wanted to make something that you had to reach for a little bit, just a little bit beyond your current comfort zone, but that was still in reach. So what I've done, I made it real reachable, but I'm going to keep on stretching it. So you get in early. But I'll give you all more information on that next week. But that's pretty much it, man. Appreciate those of you who joined in, and if you watch this on the replay, go and download that book, no more unfulfillment.com. Most of what I talk about on these Sunday sessions is going to come out of that book for the next several weeks. And so I leave you with this. Why are you still waiting on payday? Why are you still waiting on payday? And if you're tired of waiting on the next payday, are you going to do anything about it? That's always my question. Even if you don't know what you're going to do, what you going to do about it? Big Daddy, I see you. You already know, man. This is our time, man. So we just got to make the shifts and the adjustments. But appreciate you plugging in, man, and just keep on rocking with me. And hey, we gonna make it. We gonna make it to the other side, and it's gonna be good. And I'll just add this: what's beyond your ability to do is doesn't mean it's not doable. And that's just another shift. A lot of times, we kind of get limited based off of what we can do or what we think is possible. But man, God got this thing set up like, yo, I'm infinitely bigger, so I got you. I got you, but I need your faith, your trust and belief. So that's where we are, man. I'm going to stretch you on every level that I can think possible, because there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and who better to get it done than us? But we got to get ourselves right and position ourselves to receive, and then reposition ourselves to be able to give back. All right, let me be quiet before I get on another tangent, but appreciate y'all plugging in. And for those of you watching the replay, I'll have it replayed. Tell a friend about it, man. CEO Nation is officially born, and we about to take over. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of CEO Sundays, and holler at you next week. Peace out.